Once again, good afternoon. I'd like to thank everybody for joining today. Today's episode of Tech Tuesday, we're going to be going over some best practices for video and also letting you know when to use video versus static images on social media posts, what social media platforms are the best for video, and how to get the most out of those videos that you're posting to your social media platforms. So I've already pre-recorded this just for ease of use, but I will be starting the video. Please feel free to use the Q&A or the chat to ask questions at any time during the presentation. Hi, I'm Chris Maley, Vice President of Operations and the Training and Education Coordinator with Property Panorama. Today we're going to be covering the impact of video versus static images and posts on social media. Before we dive too deep into that topic, however, several of our MLS partners have requested that we place an antitrust statement at the beginning of each presentation. The topics of this event or meeting will focus on advancing the interests of real estate professionals and consumers of real estate services, increasing competition, reducing risk for all parties involved in real estate transactions, and sharing insight on business best practices. The following discussion topics are always prohibited: agreements to fix prices, limiting product or service offerings, allocating geographical territory or customers, and refusing to deal. Any discussion inconsistent with this policy will not be tolerated. And now that we've covered that, let's give you a little bit of an overview of what we're going to be covering today. So first and foremost, we're going to be exploring the key question of, should you focus more on video or static images when posting to social media? In this episode of Tech Tuesday, we're going to break down engagement data, platform preferences, content performance, and best use cases for each format. Spoiler alert, the short answer is yes, you need to use both. But let's go over why. Choosing between video and static images isn't just a design decision. It impacts reach, engagement, and even sales. Social algorithms reward engaging formats like video, and users react differently to video than they do to still images. So why does video outperform static images? Well, video grabs attention in motion, whether it's a reel or a short form tutorial or even a behind the scenes clip. It's more likely to hold a viewer's attention. Platforms like TikTok and Instagram Reels are optimized for this behavior. So if that's the case, then why do still images even matter? Static images, especially branded graphics or product photos, are still extremely valuable. They're quicker to produce, perfect for storytelling in a carousel format, and sometimes they're even more polished than video content. But let's look at the numbers on the engagement data. Across multiple platforms, video often brings higher engagement, but it's not always a landslide. On LinkedIn and Instagram, the preference is very clear. But on platforms like X, concise image posts sometimes outperform in shares. So what it comes down to is the fact that our brains are wired to respond to movement and sound. It enforces, that your memory reinforces it. That's why video can feel more immersive and compelling, while still images are still better for instant comprehension. So what works best where? You can see the chart here that has all of the different social media platforms and what works best on each of them. Different platforms do have different norms. Just like I mentioned before, TikTok is exclusively video. Pinterest is almost entirely still images. LinkedIn and Facebook give higher reach to native videos. So videos that are reels or any of the shorts, your format should match the platform's DNA. So again, reels, stories, those are going to get you a lot of reach. Why? Between 50 to 70 videos per day are consumed by the average consumer. That's right. 50 to 70 videos are scrolled through each day by the average consumer. So, when should you use video versus when should you use static? It's not about choosing one forever, it's about context. Think about your audience, your goal, and how much time you have. Sometimes a well designed image can say more in 3 seconds than a 30-second video. So if you have, say, a walkthrough, obviously you're going to want that to be a video or an open house. But if it's something more along the lines of an announcement or something going on with your brokerage and it has a graphic, then definitely you'd want to use those still images. But you also want to make sure that your content is effective. So for videos, most of the time you want to keep it under 60 seconds. Make sure your video has captions and you want to have a fast hook. It's all about execution. Most users scroll really quickly, so your content needs to stop that scroll, if you will. If you're using a graphic, it needs to be high contrast with your branding. If you have the ability through Canva, to add a little bit of a subtle motion, please do so. It is eye-catching. It stops the scroll. But again, you want to use contrast, clarity, and storytelling to get noticed. Now, it's not a cut and dry formula. It really isn't. Even the experts don't always guess right. Test your content. Compare a static photo to a video version of the same post and watch how your audience responds. Ultimately, you're in the driver's seat and you want to make sure that your content is being driven the right way. And as I mentioned earlier, you want to combine static with video for the best results. You can mix formats for that maximum effect. For example, use a teaser video to grab attention, then follow up with a static carousel post. So it's definitely, a mathematical equation, and only you can figure out your personal audience. But when it comes to breaking outside of your sphere of influence, then video does win, and you'll see why here in just a few slides. So, why video really matters for real estate? In real estate, visuals sell. You know that. Video allows potential buyers to experience a home in a way that static images just can't. A walkthrough video can convey scale, lighting, and flow beyond just listing photos. Video helps humanize the agent, builds trust, and allows clients to connect with both the property and the person representing it. And there's many types of videos for real estate professionals. First and foremost, you have your property tours, agent introductions, client testimonials. These are all important tools that are available in your pocket essentially, because each and every single one of you is walking around with a video studio right in your pocket. Again, property tours are the most common, but you don't want to stop there. Introduce yourself. Record those testimonials with happy clients. Showcase neighborhoods, local events, or dining spots. Keep your audience updated with short market updates or finance tips. It's all about engaging with your audience, making it personal. Just to give you a little bit of an overview of the performance stats in real estate videos. Let's again talk numbers. Listing with video receive over 400% more inquiries than those without. And Nearly three-quarters of homeowners say that they're more likely to hire an agent who uses video. Even beyond listings, video emails have been shown to nearly double click-through rates, which can increase lead conversion significantly. So with video, what platforms should you focus on? Well, different platforms serve different goals. YouTube is excellent for long form tours and help with SEO. Instagram Reels or TikTok or even Facebook Stories, they're great for short, punchy clips, perfect for first impressions. However, Facebook does have a little bit more for reaching local buyers and sharing live open houses. So the content length and tone with platforms is what you're really going to want to focus on. So again, YouTube, you can have those long form videos, a full walkthrough. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, you might want to focus a little bit more on the highlights of the property. Give them something to want to watch the YouTube video for. And then, of course, we want to go over the best practices. So if you're going to be doing video, now for the long form videos, you're still going to want to keep it under the 90 seconds. Uh, for your regular socials, I would recommend keeping it under 60. Use a stabilizing tool like a gimbal or a drone for a professional look to your videos. And always brand your content with your logo or name. And remember, you're not just selling square footage, you're selling a lifestyle. Highlight things like natural light, outdoor space, and local charm. When it comes to video testimonials, they're incredibly powerful. They offer authentic, emotional proof of your expertise. A short clip of a satisfied client speaking sincerely carries far more weight than a written review. These videos can be repurposed across your website, social media, and even ads to attract new prospects and build trust faster. And like I said, video can lead to more conversions. Video helps potential buyers and sellers feel more connected to the home and to you. People buy from those that they trust. A well crafted video helps you stay top of mind and stand out in a crowded marketplace. And convert faster by making you feel familiar before a client even shakes your hand. So, what can we take away from today? Video and static images each play a powerful role. Understand your audience, the platform, and your message. Video and static images each play a powerful role. Understand your audience, the platform, and your message, and you'll know which format to use. Most importantly, test and adapt. That's the secret to growing on social media. So, at this point in time, I would like to thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules today to join us for today's Tech Tuesday. I'm going to open the floor for any questions that you may have. And just a reminder, our support team is available Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and we're happy to answer any questions that you might have. So, in short, you do need to use multiple formats to break through to various segments of the audience through social media. One of the biggest things that would like you to take away from today's episode is the fact that short form videos, the ones that are on Reels or the Facebook stories or the YouTube shorts, those are the key to breaking outside of your sphere of influence. If you're just posting it on your social media page, it's only going to be going to your personal audience. However, you get into those reels, and those shorts, those short form videos, the more likes they get, the more engagement they get, they're going to be breaking outside of your sphere just because it's going to become featured content that's going to be on the through the video scrolls. Do have a question that came in. Will you receive a copy of the recording? Absolutely, you will. I'm going to be posting it to YouTube most likely this evening, and then you will be getting it in an email first thing tomorrow. But back to those short form videos, that is the key to breaking outside of your sphere of influence. Now, I do understand a lot of you also want to market to your sphere, so you definitely still want to share it to your page. You still want to put those graphics on your page, but make sure that all of your content does link to one central location. If you have, your own personal website, or if you have like through Property Panorama, the digital portfolio. If you don't already have your own website, that is a great tool for you to use, where you can just link them directly to your digital portfolio. When you first log into your account, it's the top block on the left, and the link is in that top block so you can get to your page. But at this time, again, I would like to open the floor to any questions that you may have regarding social media and video, especially for your listings or even for your own personal marketing yourself as an agent. Yes, go ahead and use the Q&A or the webinar chat, and I'd be happy to answer them. I did see a hand go up. And as I mentioned before, while we're waiting for that question to come in, each and every one of you does have a portable video studio right in your pocket. Most phones today have all sorts of video editing software built into them, so you can make those professional videos right from your mobile device. We do highly recommend using some type of stabilizing device, be it a tripod or a gimbal, something that gives you that still shot. Make sure that it doesn't have any of the jitter or the shake. So the best way to start for video is actually just how it was mentioned in the presentation. Take similar posts, make one that's a video, one that's a static image, similar concept, maybe for even the same property. See which one performs best with your audience. In addition, you're going to want to have a regular posting schedule. So you're going to want to post onto social media 3 to 5 times per week. I would recommend at least two of those being video, even if they're just talking about neighborhood things going on in the neighborhood or market conditions. If you have a new listing coming up, featuring your listings. But I would say two, maybe three videos per week, but you definitely want to have posts going out 3 to 5 times, and that's going to keep you relevant in the marketplace. The best way to start getting those likes and shares is to really just keep your content consistent. Um, I actually went to school for broadcasting and social media, and every audience is a little different. So with real estate, I'm sure unless people are looking for houses right this very second, you might not get all the likes and shares that you would want from your sphere, which is why we do need to break outside of the sphere using the social media algorithms with the videos. So uh, maybe giving yourself an introduction video to your potential client base. That would also be a great place to start. Just do a sit down or a stand up video, either way, and get those views on your page. Introduce yourself as a real estate professional in your region. Uh, you know, make yourself a community expert. Know what's going on if there's local concerts or local festivals going on. Just be the local expert that you are. That is a great way to get started and to get more notoriety on social media. And that is all the questions that I've seen come in thus far. Again, please don't hesitate to reach out to our support team. Our support team is happy to help with any aspect of the InstaView system. However, if you respond directly to the email that I send out tomorrow, I'd be happy to give you additional tips and tricks for social media as well. Tips for recording. Again, if you're using a mobile device, definitely want that stabilizing tool. You can usually find them as inexpensively as, $10, $13 for just a tripod stand. Um, if you want a gimbal, those get a little bit more expensive. They can get very pricey actually if you go with the top end. But I've seen some right around the $100 mark that do work just as well. Tips for recording, I would definitely stick with what you know. So your listings, your introduction, things like that. And you definitely want to be in either at the property if it's a listing, or you want to be in a place where it looks like almost like an office setting, or even inside your home office, however you wanted to have yourself depicted. But if you're going to be doing 2 to 3 videos per week and they are going to be featuring you in them, I would try to actually get them all recorded at once and then maybe change outfits in between just so it looks like you recorded them on different days. That is one tip that I can give to you. For editing is a little different. There are tools that are available usually right within your phone where you can trim. Um, Personally, I use the Adobe Suite that can get a little pricey. Um, but that starts, I want to say at like $20 a month for one program. But there are free options available out there on the web. I have not used any of them. I would have to check with some of my colleagues that I went to school with and see what they're currently using. Um, but there are also free ones that are available that are all web based. So there's a lot of options. You would just want to look up video editing software, and that would be able to get you into the right spot. In regards to uh, having this in Spanish, I do not have a translated version, but I can work with one of our team members to see if we can get a Spanish version to you. And then how long does it take to edit a 45-second video? Honestly, that all depends on what content you're doing. If you're doing a stand-up or a walkthrough video, if you didn't really make any mistakes during the video, as far as voicing it or anything, then very limited amount of time, maybe 5, 10 minutes. If you're wanting to edit out sections of the video, each cut section could take about a minute or two just so you can get it all lined up. If you wanted to add in transitions, that's, adding a little bit more time. Ultimately, for a 45-second video that is just straight video, not adding in any additional aspects to it, unless you're adding maybe captions, which can be done very quickly with just the text editor in them. I would expect no more than 5 to 10 minutes of editing, 15 if you're getting really fancy with it. Now there's videos that I do that are 45 seconds, but because they're all animated, it takes me 2 hours to edit. So I mean it's a completely different animal there. But when it comes to just the straight video, it shouldn't take you much more than 10 minutes at max. All right, and that looks like all of the questions we have at this time. Again, I do want to thank you all for joining and taking the time out of your busy schedules to come to this Tech Tuesday. I do have another edition of this from back in, I want to say January or February, that does have a little bit more on the actual recording tips. I will be happy to share that in the email as well with you. So you can expect both of those links. But again, I hope you all have a wonderful and successful week.